We take a live look there at the U.S. Capitol. Today marks the 27th day of the federal government shutdown.
And still no sign of a deal being reached to reopen operations. Joining us this morning to talk about the state of Congress and our country, Western Carolina political science professor Dr. Chris Cooper, who is in Auburn, Alabama this morning via Zoom and via the hotel room. Chris, always a pleasure. Good morning, my friend.
Good to see you.
Okay, so let's talk about, there are many things that happen in Washington that we don't directly feel immediately on the state level, right? Maybe a change of a presidency every 4 years. Eventually, things trickle down to our level. When we have 27 days of a government shutdown, when money dries up, looking at this coming weekend, what does that really mean for those of us that are watching this morning?
It means a whole lot. I mean, one is a lot of federal government employees are not going to get a paycheck. That doesn't mean they won't get it eventually, right? They will almost certainly get this money at some point, but they won't in the short run. So what would that mean if it was your family, right? You'd spend less money, you'd save more, you would put less money into the economy. So if you care at all about what the stock market is doing, if you care at all about what the economy is doing in general, then federal government workers putting less money in, that's a problem for you.
Chris, when we talk about, obviously, the sticking point remains these health care subsidies for Democrats. They were saying that they would have to be figured out by the beginning of November to get them ready because they end at the end of the year. As we look at the start of next month, really right around the corner, is that going to be the point where finally these two sides can come together and figure out a way to end the shutdown? Or are they going to kind of blow past this November 1 point? We lose SNAP benefits. And we kind of look at these healthcare subsidies saying, I don't know where they're going to get figured out.
Yeah, I don't know. Right. I mean, you would think that would be the kind of moment. I mean, you don't want to talk about real effects on people's lives, even if you're not getting SNAP benefits. I mean, just imagine what that would feel like if you were. I don't know. I don't hear either side even saying they want to come together to talk at this point. The Democrats are saying, I'm going to hold firm. Donald Trump is saying he's going to hold firm, which is essentially to say the Republican Party is saying they're going to hold firm. So I don't know. This is one, my crystal ball is not only broken, it's in the other room.
What I mean by that, Chris, is this political chess match that's going on, however this ends up shaking out, let's hope in the next couple of weeks, right? Even the next week would be great. Is whatever the end game is that worth what happens to constituents on the other end of that?
You know, I don't know. I think ultimately that's for the voters to decide. I think the Democrats are arguing that if they signed on to this so-called clean continuing resolution, that it would hurt more people, that in the long run and in the short run, more people would actually be hurt for it. The Republicans obviously have a very different take on that. So I don't know. I think part of this is who the American people are going to blame. It looks so far like public opinion polls show, yeah, there's partisan division, but for the most part, the Republicans are getting a little bit more blame than the Democrats. But that could easily flip very quickly.
Chris, part of the reason why you're in Alabama right now is because you are going to meet with, as he said during the break, so-called election nerds. Election stuff is top of mind right now because we're talking about redistricting, not just here in North Carolina where we have the new congressional map, but places like California as well when that's on the ballot for California voters. Where are we looking at in terms of midterms? Because it looks like Republicans may pick up seats. Will it matter how things shake out from the shutdown? Will they get enough seats just because the maps are kind of redistricted in a way that favors them?
Yeah, I mean, look, there was one competitive congressional district in the state of North Carolina, the first congressional district. It was also the only competitive congressional district in the entire Southeast. Guess what? North Carolina General Assembly last week decided, well, it's not going to be competitive anymore. We're going to make that a red seat. Looks like Virginia is going to do the same thing with some blue seats, probably announcing today and trying to execute and do a state constitutional amendment, kind of like California did. At this point, it's almost a wash, right? If California goes the way we think it will, it's going to offset Texas. Missouri Republicans pick up one. North Carolina Republicans pick up one. Looks like Virginia Democrats could pick up three. So I think what we really might end up with is a partisan wash and a total death of competitive congressional elections, which is a bad outcome no matter which side you sit on politically.
Well, Dr. Chris Cooper, again, we always appreciate your insight and lightheartedness sometimes to some very serious matters that are affecting us so that we don't wake up each day and just start crying with the situations we're in. So good luck to your election group that you're with down there. We'll be in touch over the next couple of days as we get closer to some deadlines this weekend. Thanks, Chris.
Thanks. Good to see you guys.
Queen City News Plus. Just search Queen City News on your smart TV's app store.